what Najami has to share with us today. Okay, 463. Let me pull her up right now. Starting. Najami, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I am that I am that I am. Ashe. I want to give thanks to all of, to the great God, Goddess Divine, Olodumare, all the Orishas. Ogun governs my head, and Obatala, Nyumeya, Oshun, Oya, Shango. And I must say
you got to
that,
call on Oya. Thank you.
Yes, Oya.
Yeah.
Oya was Ogun's wife, and she also was involved with Shango. And I definitely
all the parties.
want to dedicate this show, especially to the Orishas, Oya, Oshun and Yemaya, because they have some pissed energy going on. The same way how when a woman ejaculates and the water floods out of the yoni, the vagina, the pussy, they are pissed. They are so pissed that we are having heavy storms, torrential rains, because they govern the waters, the rivers, the lakes, the oceans. And in Trinidad and Tobago right now, they've had such heavy torrential rains that cars were sailing down the street. People's homes were flooded. Look what happened to Bahamas, which I believe was a man-made storm anyway. But we have angered the feminine forces, the feminine orishas, and a lot of water, an overflow of water that is drowning the earth and causing all of these things that's happening on the planet.
You know, some people I've heard, young and old, say, oh, yeah, hurricanes, those are ancestors. I said, well, I don't know about that, because the way the hurricane set on top of the Bahamas, thousands, I believe there might have been thousands of people who were washed away. And it's being suppressed in the news media. How many people died in the Bahamas?
Mm-hmm.
So the technology, the HARP technology, is a reality, and people need to become aware that hurricanes now can be controlled and directed. Earthquakes can be controlled and directed. Now, how long is this going to happen? Heaven only knows. Because when you start playing with the forces of nature, you're playing with fire. And karma is the heavy gravity of the soul. So we can't get off the planet. Our souls will not transcend above the planet if we got karmic burden in this life. Talk to me, Najami. What is an angry vagina? What is an angry yoni? And why is it an epidemic today?
Well, from my analogy and from my own personal experience, I had an angry vagina. I will say that. Women have carried for years the burden or the sin of Eve. Let's take it all the way back to that so-called illusionary story, which I don't believe the Adam and Eve story at all, but it is used as an allegory to teach us something. Now, Eve was depicted as a woman who tempted Adam, had him bite into the apple, and they had sex. And therefore, women were carrying the sin of Eve on their backs for generations upon generations. There are many women, which also was including myself, who had a lot of issues around embracing our feminine sacred portal, embracing our yoni, because our yoni, our vagina, or pussy as we call it, is the portal of entry where all souls enter on the planet. And when we have a very negative image or negative feeling, because everything is about a feeling, we can create a lot of diseases like cysts, fibroids, tumors, excuse me, and it also stems from unhealthy relationships, toxic relationships that you've had in your life. If you have had rape, incest, any type of violation to that sacred portal, it carries with it a heavy energy that transforms into something else. A dis-ease, a disharmony creates an imbalance of the harmonic relationships that we have with that root chakra and that sacral chakra. So I've heard women who would not or don't feel very good about their yoni. They've called it ugly. I can recall that I did not even like the way her minds looked when I was a younger woman. But not now. I've learned how to transform that illusionary concept of thinking that there's something wrong with your yoni, the way how it looked, and things of that nature. And so we women really need to change the attitude, change the feeling of that, because what we think we attract, it internalizes in diseases and cysts and yeast infections, fibroids, and all of those things.
How can the multi-generational trauma that's carried from our grandmothers and great-grandmothers' wombs that are carried down, the frequencies carried down to the next generation? I see sometimes women coming from households that men haven't been around for multiple generations, possibly even from slavery. How can spells from the yoni be broken? And does vaginal steaming help?
Well, remember back then in the day, they had the thing called the chastity belt, right? You had the yoni on lockdown. If a man was going away to war, whatever, he made sure that his wife wore, a woman wore the chastity belt, and he alone had the key to this. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Yeah, that's a very European concept. Go ahead.
European concept, yes, it is. From the African diaspora, we always honored that sacred portal. We never saw it as a way of something that needed to be obstructed. Matter of fact, certain cultures decorate the yoni. They will extend the labia or even the clitoris, decorate it, tattoo it, and they see it as something that's very beautiful. Now, the PTSD, the post-traumatic slave syndrome, I should say, that comes from the violation of our ancestral mothers being raped and violated. And when you grow up with that and it's passed on from generation to generation, you are told that you need to not only keep it covered, but you need to, it's something that you should not engage in. You should not even masturbate. You shouldn't touch yourself. You should not even see it as something as a jewel. There are quite a few many women who don't even take a mirror and examine the beauty of their yoni, while there are some who do. But we have to trace back to the causes of the thought process. You have, as you said, awareness. When you become aware of the power and the beauty that the vagina, the power of the P has, yes, you can rule the world, actually, with it. And you can also use the energy of your yoni to not only heal, but to attract things that you want in your life. The root chakra, the sacral chakra, when we see it from when we have very negative thought concepts of this, it interferes with the flow of our money. The flow of our money is also related to our sacral energy. So we have to not only appreciate it, but honor it and love it. Now, vaginal steaming is very healthy for women to do. There are certain herbs that can be mixed, and a woman would sit on a pot or a chair. I remember in the Caribbean when women had children, after they had a child, they will be advised or taken to this pot where the midwife will mix in herbs, and they will squat over that to bring back the yoni back to its original size after having a child. But a lot of women have not been taught how to take care of their yoni. I have been in, let's say I go to bathrooms and a woman comes out of a stall, and the stench that may have come out from the woman using the bathroom before me, I'm like, oh my God. So cleansing your yoni, doing the vaginal steaming. There are a lot of recipes and things that you can find on YouTube that can teach you how to do that. There are a lot of doulas and sisters out there that teaches one how to do that. But the real crux of the matter is that how do you really feel about yourself? How that God-Goddess energy within, which is also directly connected to the power of the P. So I just want women to really embrace their yoni in a very sacred way. And once we start doing that, we start also healing some of the diseases that may be in that area. When I was a younger woman and I didn't have a healthy feeling about my yoni because I was raped as a young woman. Incest also occurred with me when I was a young child. And I was very angry towards men. Oh, my goodness. I was very angry towards men. I didn't care whether they came or to go. I really did not have that healthy type of relationship in dealing with men. And I believe that also contributed to some of the yeast infections that I may have gotten and the imbalances of that particular chakra when I was growing up as a child. So it's important for us to really change the feeling, the attitudes, the thoughts about that so we can pass that in a positive way to our next generation, our children, grandchildren, whatever have you. And it's amazing to me how women get so uncomfortable talking about their menstrual cycle or their menopausal cycle. Our sister at the college this week was having hot flashes, and she says, oh, don't you feel hot in here? I said, no, it's not. I said, are you going through menopause? And she was like, oh, my God, I don't believe you said that word out so loud. I said, what are you afraid of? Again, not embracing that change or change is about to happen. I remember hating my menstrual cycle. Oh, my God, I hated that. And not understanding that the menstrual cycle is a cleansing period, a sacred time where you need to relax, either be still, meditate more, just go through the ritual of allowing the body to do its work.
Speaking of that, Najami, I remember the book that came out years ago, Survival into the 21st Century. It was a soft paperback. Family, you can look it up. In the book, I remember reading that when a woman's diet is clean and meat-free, during her moon cycle, she only has a slight mucus discharge. And pound for pound, when a woman's body is that clean, she is as strong as a man. However, diet, attitudes, and emotions all are factors in the yoni health and smell.
Yes, very much so. What you eat comes out in the body orifices. Queen Afua is very good at, I remember when she was teaching women to change their diets and they did not have the blood menstruation but just a clear discharge, so to speak. Really, that's how it's supposed to look. It's not supposed to be all this red blood stuff. So when we eat certain foods, it contributes, like take example, when a woman ingests too much salt, she has very painful menstrual cycles, a very painful menstrual experience. So you need to lessen your salt intake. A lot of us don't drink enough water. I find women are drinking too much sodas or some of these so-called juices and not enough water. Eating aloe vera. The aloe vera plant is excellent for cleansing the entire body because it's an alkaline-based plant. And because we eat so much acidic food, we create acidity creates diseases in the body. It creates yeast infections, cysts, fibroids, and things of that nature, but colds and other types of infections. So having an alkaline-based diet, making your diet more alkaline-based, eating certain vegetables, foods that are more high in that, drinking alkaline water. And if you don't have an alkaline machine, you can alkaline your water by adding lemon to it, even baking soda. Baking soda is great not only for ingesting from time to time, but also washing your yoni with it. When you wash your yoni with it, it cleanses and freshens the yoni. And it also corrects any kind of pH imbalance that is there, that is going on. So it's very important. I remember men telling me about my yoni when I started making corrections towards my diet, that my yoni had an interesting smell, a fresh smell, a great taste. And certain foods can have your yoni tasting very fishy, like drinking pineapple juice gives your yoni a great, great flavor. Ingesting more nutmeg in your diet. Nutmeg is a female Viagra. Ingesting more cinnamon, maca root, ashwagandha, things of that nature, ginger, fenugreek, things that really help to cleanse and heal the body. We have to take responsibility for the changes in our diet. We have to take responsibility for, even if you ingest meat, ever so often, if you cannot eat aloe vera because you find it's too bitter, you can drink the juice. There are a lot of stores that sell the juice these days. Or you buy the fresh leaf, blend it yourself. You can blend it in with smoothies. I like to eat it, or before I used to blend it with garlic and ginger and take a little cocktail drink in the morning. The aloe vera is a great plant for massaging your breasts. It keeps the girls perky. And massaging
okay, hold on. Before we move to the lovely breasts, I have someone in the queue that wanted to share their testimony of how they cleaned their body, and they were concerned until they heard this show. Area code 757-768. Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. Can you hear us?
Greetings. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Greetings, sister. How you feeling?
Greetings.
Greetings. Thank you so much, Brother Honk, for having this wonderful sister on the show tonight. And I'm so grateful that I tuned in tonight. I wanted to share with you that I started eating a plant-based diet about 2 years ago. And last year, my cycle started to change. And for 2 months, I did not bleed last year, end of the year. And then this year, I skipped 3 months, and then 2 months again. And so I've been at the doctor, the GYN, since January, and they have been running all kinds of tests on me to find out why am I not bleeding. I'm not in early menopause. I'm 41. My fertility numbers are high. They're through the roof, actually. She says I have my uterus is the age of like a 30-year-old woman. And they have no idea why I'm not bleeding. So they wanted to put me on hormonal birth control so that I can start bleeding again. And I said, I don't want to take any hormones. So I do have some discharge that comes out monthly, but it's not bloody. So I was very concerned, what's going on. They wanted to do a biopsy to see maybe it's cancer. I have cancer somehow. But I didn't want them cutting into my body. So listening to you tonight, I feel such a wave of relief, like it's my diet that's causing this, and this is a good thing, because I thought maybe the opposite was true.
Thank you for sharing that. I want to share something with the listening audience, too. I remember a while ago, and the first time I engaged with a particular woman, her yoni secretion smelled like chicken. It smelled like fried chicken in dirty grease. And I asked her, I said, what's your favorite, what is your favorite food? And while she was riding my nature, she said, chicken. And she smelled like chicken from dirty fried grease.
Oh, my God.
So,
yes.
Keep up the good work, sister.
Yes, thank
you. Yes. Keep up the good work. And it's nothing, I don't believe anything is wrong with you. You feel healthy, you feel well. And yes, when you change your diet, everything in the body changes. It, recollaborates. I remember I was dating a man, and his body chemistry, the pores, I couldn't stand the body chemistry. And I asked him, I said, do you eat pork? And he said, yes, I do. I said, oh, my God. I had to end the relationship because I could not stand the smell of the man even when we made love and whatever it is. Because even though people have different smells, some people have a body chemistry that is sweet, musky, that tastes tangy. Some of us have different body chemistries. But I know that you can really change that. And, sister, I don't know if you incorporate aloe vera in your diet where you are, if you're able to get the aloe vera leaf. Are you able to get the aloe vera leaf?
Yes, I can get that.
Yes, blend it with the skin. Matter of fact, you don't have to cut the prickly sides at all. You can blend everything. Blend it with some garlic and ginger or just by itself. Or if you can't take the taste, it's because it has a bitter taste. Well, the aloes that I find in America is not bitter. From the Caribbean and Africa, that's the real deal. But you can blend it with cranberry juice, which is also good for cleaning out that the kidneys and the bladder and things of that nature, or even pineapple juice, or even blend it with fresh pineapple. And have that and drink it every morning. You can do for 7 days or 14 days, take a rest. But I eat my aloe almost every morning. I use it on my face after I wash my face, and before I put my moisturizer on, I put the aloe on my face. It tightens the face. I rub it on my breast. It keeps the girls up. I rub the gel on my yoni. It tightens. In matter of fact, it makes your yoni very tight like a virgin. And you could also insert
I just had Najami.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a sister text me and said this holds true with men, and it reminded me of what some women have told me, that the men's semen would literally give them an infection. It was so toxic that it would literally reek. It would reek with funk from the oxtail or the pig's feet or the hog maws or the whatever they were eating that was so toxic, and it sometimes the smell. I'm telling you that I remember one time I had the experience of meeting this beautiful woman, and we engaged, and the smell that came off of her, I couldn't wash it off with liquid Era soap.
Wow. Let me just kind of end that's it, giving the sister here or who might be listening. If woman wants to cleanse their vagina, even tighten it, you cut off the gel of the aloe vera and insert it in your yoni for the day. You can do a 5-day cleanse, a 7-day cleanse, and use a tampon to hold it in there because the aloe will slip out. You can also do garlic cleanse, which I've done for years. If you have an infection, like a yeast infection, garlic is a natural antibiotic. Now, the same way how garlic freshens and gives meat a great flavor, it will sweeten the smell and taste of your yoni. It will clean the yoni, especially after your cycle, or if you know that you're going to get together with a mate for a night of encounter and you want to do a cleanse, you can do a garlic cleanse. You can also do prunes. Now, with the prunes, you got to take the seeds out of the prune. So you can put 2 or 3 prunes into your yoni. You have to use a tampon because the prunes will slip out. With the garlic, you don't need a tampon or a pad because the vagina will hold the garlic in there. And you can feel, if there's any kind of imbalance or infection, you can feel the garlic pulling on it in your yoni. And you will taste the garlic in your body. Nobody else will taste it. But I recommend, because I have done this.
You know, I got a question to ask Melanie. Have you noticed since your diet changed, your abilities or, you know, your magical, spiritual coincidences of success, has there been a change since you've changed your diet?
Yes, I'm more aware. I feel like my all of my spiritual gifts started coming in, you know, one at a time, which I have multiple now. But everything has heightened exponentially. Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing that, because, you know, there's so many sisters listening in the audience and they're chewing on a chicken wing, wishing for their true love and their true friend to come into their lives. But because they're eating the oxtail and the gravy that's locking up in their intestines, they're too congested to manifest abundance or their love that they're looking for. And why is it, Najami, that many women cannot smell the reek that's coming from them?
Why they cannot smell? Well, maybe because they think that is how they're supposed to smell. A lot of women, when you wash yourself, I mean, put your hands in your yoni and clean out your yoni. Smell it. Even taste it. If it tastes acidic or has a, you know, therefore you need to do a cleanse. A lot of us don't take the time to make changes in our diet. You don't need to eat every day. You know, you really eat when you feel hungry. And there are times you can do some nuts and seeds. There are times when we eat these sugary types of foods, these diets. I find a lot of us have serious oral fixations with food. We feel that we need to eat 3 times a day. Who said that? You should really eat only when you feel hungry, and your food should be the size of your fist. Make a fist. That should be the amount. If you notice Oriental people, they eat in small bowls. Now, that's their culture. African people eat in larger bowls, I understand. But I believe that we overstuff ourselves. I find it very fascinating when people have dinner and they have a dessert right after. How can you eat dessert after you had a full meal? Are you serious? It's a clash between what you just ate and all of that sugar. And sugar creates yeast infections, cysts and fibroids and tumors. Sugar is like cancer to the cells. Sugar creates arthritis in your joints. Make yourself some turmeric tea. Turmeric tea helps to get rid of inflammation in the body. You could do turmeric and ginger or turmeric and lemongrass. Make your own bush tea. I am also called Bushwoman. I am Bushwoman of Bushwoman's Conversations Project. And I have a personal development awareness life coaching program. And it's a lifestyle program where not only do I talk about conversations that uplift women and men to build healthier communities so we can reduce dysfunctional relationships, but it's also about how we are thinking about ourselves, the awareness, personal development awareness. And it's something that you just can't do once in a while. You got to live it. You got to breathe it. You got to feel it. And I have these type of conversations on my show, my conversation Monday through Friday on Facebook, which I'll give out in a little while. But being positive, like I had a workshop today with some men. I'm also a social worker as well. And one of the men in the group says, I think negative all the time. And it's hard for me to think positive. Why? Because we are bombarded daily with the news. What comes on our phone, this information we retrieve. And I recommend people to get rid of TV, get rid of that idiot box if you can. You're missing no news because you can always get it on the internet or on your phone. But first thing in the morning, practice between 4 and 7 if you can. Either quiet time for meditation, reflection, or prayer. And get into the practice of writing out your spells for the day. Your spells is your affirmation. Using the words I am. I am so happy, grateful, and thankful. I have a healthy body. All of my cells, tissues, organs, and joints are operating in optimal health. I am attracting all the assistance I need. Whatever it is you want, but using the words I am, because I am is the language that Goddess speaks. I am is the frequency that goes out, because it's not so much about your thoughts, it's about how you feel. You can think positive, much positive stuff as possible, but if you don't buy into the feeling, it is in the feeling of things that we attract things and people to us. And when you practice feeling good, feeling those good thoughts, feeling those imagery, feeling money coming to you, seeing money as a tool, not money as the root of all evil, feeling good health, feeling that all that you need is there, the universe has your back, everything is always working out for you, you will attract it. And I'm saying this from practice myself.
Well, I want to say there's a beautiful Leo sister that I talk to often out of South Florida, and she would tell me about her love recipe to make her yoni delicious for her beloved. And she would speak upon how she would mix different types of berries and blueberries, strawberries, pineapples, mango. She would eat so much mango until when she sweat, the mango juice, her perspiration would smell like mango juice. So tonight's show is not just about the baseline of Angry Vagina, but it is also a springboard into the wonderful tropical elixirs of heavenly aromas and ultimate seduction. Can I get an ashe, Najami?
Ashe, I am that I am that I am.
Could you imagine eating so many mangoes that when you sweat, your skin smells like mangoes?
Oh, hell yes.
To the umpteenth degree.
That's right. You know, I had a fruit salad this morning. My fruit salad was pineapple, cactus fruit, mixed with nutmeg and cinnamon, lemon, and some hot Congo pepper.
Why
had
the hot
that
Congo
this morning.
What's up with that?
Because for one, pepper is good for moving. Pepper, like ginger, are catalysts. It moves things throughout the body, right? So the pepper will move the nutrients, the bromelain from the pineapple, the antioxidants from the cactus fruit throughout your body. So ginger is very good to incorporate, especially for men. Men should also even massage their lingam, their penis, with aloe vera. Aloe vera is very good for
I thought you were going to tell me
penis.
Massage you with some hot pepper. I was getting ready to say, no thank you. No hot pepper massage for me, Jack.
No. But you can ingest it. African men ingest a lot of hot pepper and it keeps their penis hard. But you have to, a lot of problems that men have with their prostrate and inability to maintain an erection. You're supposed to have an erection till you die. You're supposed to be fucking till you die, really. And all of that has to do with your diet, exercise. I am not saying that even though if you ingest meat or you ingest certain type of foods that you cannot have a healthy erection. But you got to cleanse your body ever so often. You got to abstain from certain foods ever so often. You got to fast once in a while. That helps. Okay? I believe in cooking your own meals as often as you can. Nothing wrong with dining out, but where you're dining out, what kind of foods you're eating. You know, be your own bush doctor, your own bushwoman or own bushman doctor. You know, find ways. Go ahead, Hank.
I gotta give a special shout out to my elder, Baba Ruth Pearson, out of South Florida.
Oh wow. Yes,
family, let me tell you, he prepares vegetarian and vegan food. This man is in his mid-70s. All he is muscle, ligaments, and hardened sea moss bones. Okay?
Oh, wait a minute.
He is a mess. I mean,
yes.
You know, he still has his testosterone screaming through the roof.
Yes. You said the key thing there about, I know Baba Pearson very well, and he used to be in Brooklyn. Baba Pearson is a bushman in of himself. And the word bushman and bushwoman is nothing other than somebody who knows how to work with the elements and with nature and herbs and spices. Now, you said a key thing there. You see Irish moss, or also known as sea moss. If more people ingest that on a daily basis, it will balance at least almost 100 of the amino acids needed by the body. Irish moss is something
absolutely.
that you can incorporate Irish moss in your tea with some blackstrap molasses and some cayenne pepper. If you could digest cayenne pepper, that is. You can put it in your soups. If you eat fish or you cook fish, you can put it in that as well. Irish moss is great for elders who are bedridden. It helps to prevent atrophying of the muscles. It's excellent for women when they're going through their menstrual cycle and menopausal cycle, because it balances the amino acids in the body, those hormonal imbalances. I used to make and sell sea moss. I don't know. I think I used to give it to you, Hank. I can't remember, but I used to make mango, tamarind, pineapple, passion fruit sea moss. And plus, I'll put in a dash of aphrodisiac powders in it for people. And I used to have brothers who used to tell me the woman used to complain because the woman couldn't keep up with them. So I said, well, listen, you got to give her the other side, the one that had the female aphrodisiac powders. But Irish moss is so nutrient. Now, it is better if you get the purple ones, which is not bleached. But if you're here in America and you do get the bleached ones, you have to know how to wash it with lime and lemon, wash out all the sand, all the grit out of it. Then you let it soak for about 15, 20 minutes, or even overnight if you wish. And you can add flax seeds, cinnamon bark, things of that nature to it, agar. And when you boil it, you don't boil it for very long. Stir it as you're boiling it. And then you take off the fire and let it coagulate because it's going to thicken. Irish moss is
let me share about the Dr. Sabi sea moss formula, because all the audience that's over the age of 25, you need to thicken your bones and keep your joints lubricated. I had a crushing knee injury, and I am a slow, humble work in progress in the healing. I decided I wasn't going to go under the knife, but I actually had a backpack on, a 100-pound backpack. I was going up a hill in icy weather, and instead of doing a rollout, when I slipped, my body weight, which is over 200, plus the 100-pound weight on my back of groceries, I went down on my right knee and I heard crunch. And I walked back. So I crushed my patella, and I think I damaged my tibia. And it's been a humbling experience because I always loved to swim and jog. So what I do now, as a supplement, I ride my bike. However, audience, Dr. Sabi would mix sea moss with bladderwrack, and he also would add, at times, some burdock roots. So that combination would thicken your bones. And I'd slip and fell on my bike. And fortunately, I bounced before I broke. And please continue.
I'm glad you said a very important herb, burdock root. Now, if you go to Chinatown, you can buy fresh burdock root. It is like a long brown stalk. I used to cook with burdock root in my food, in my vegetables. Burdock root is a great eliminator of toxins, and it does build the body bone structure, and it cleanses the body. So burdock root is something that you can incorporate in your diet, also lotus root as well. And it's good to eat different foods from different cultural paradigms, because you get different nutrients as well. It's good to once in a while to have some quinoa. It is good to have all this rice. It is good to have just strict root ground provisions or ground vegetables. I'm talking about the yams, the dasheen, the green bananas, the plantains. Sometimes it's good just to eat that with some lentils, or if you cook meats, if that's your thing, and eliminate the rice, because too much starch turns into sugar. So it's important for us to know how to mix up our diet. Oatmeal in the morning. Oatmeal keeps you saturated, keeps you full. Incorporate some coconut flakes in that. When you boil coconut flakes. And another important thing that people don't really know, avocado seeds. When you get an avocado, don't throw away the seeds. I have a jar, I'm looking at it right now, of avocado seeds. I boil avocado seeds. Avocado seeds, and you can even grate it over your salads and over your food. Avocado is great. It has a lot of amino acids and certain, I don't want to mispronounce the word, but it helps to prevent and fight cancer in the body. A lot of research has been done about it, and you can look up avocado seeds as well on how to use it. Look it up on YouTube. It's all on YouTube. And that's one of my favorite go-to channels. Mm-hmm.
I want to share this because a very dear friend of mine is experiencing health concerns in her colon. And so because of her, sometimes we have survival diets and we have plaque buildup in our colon. I learned years ago from Muhammad Ali's nutritionist, Dr. Dave Imhotep Jones, taught me that to clean your colon of the plaque-encrusted elements that may cause multiple types of diseases, you take a quart of prune juice, chill it for 8 hours, begin drinking between 3 and 6 p.m. The entire quart of prune juice, and what the prune juice will do starting after midnight is being like a rotor-rooter to remove the plaque, taste, mucus buildup in the lining of the colon. However, it is very painful with the cramping and the breaking away of the buildup of toxins, because this can not only affect your smell of your yoni and saliva, but when the colon is impacted, it literally, you will have the skin start to reek the smell of fecal matter. So prune juice.
Yes. I remember in one of my jobs, one of my coworkers told me that she didn't go off for a whole week. I said, what? You didn't go off? You haven't excreted for the whole week? And what happened? Her skin started breaking up with all these bumps and stuff, right? It is you're supposed to go, we pretty much use the bathroom most times when you eat foods. When I eat anything, I tend to go to the bathroom a few minutes after. If I eat my aloe vera in the morning, I will have a movement. When I don't, I get concerned. Now, the colon, Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, in her book, You Can Heal Your Life, has great examples of how the emotions are connected to the health of our organs. So the colon deals with fear of letting go, holding on to the past. And how you can do that and release that is that you can use the affirmation that says, I easily release that which I no longer need. The past is over and I am free. the past. So holding on to past emotions, holding on to things that no longer serves us, blocks the flow, the chi, blocks the chakras, blocks everything. Because it's not just only what you're eating, it's also how you are using your awareness on a consistent basis. If you feel yourself getting tense and getting upset, and, like today I told a coworker, she's pregnant and she's allowing the issues of the job and people to get her upset all the time. I said, listen to me, be careful of what you are allowing into your system. You are going to affect your child. Either you're going to have a very colicky or very cranky baby. And she was complaining so much today. I said to her,
touching on something deep.
Yeah, I said to her, what fun things you did over the weekend? I had to change the conversation because she was only bitching and complaining about who didn't do this and who. I said, girl, watch your thoughts. It affects the baby. The more you get pissed, the more you're angry. And then she felt a movement and she was concerned. I said, well, it's probably the baby probably just kicking or stretching. But you have to be very careful of what you allow. And then when she was complaining about whatever, I said, how can you change that feeling? How can you change your attitude to what just happened to you? And then, she said a couple of things. I said, listen, everything that you're going through right now is because Goddess has a bigger plan for you. Like how a diamond is shaped under pressure. She's from Ghana. You are being shaped for bigger things to come. Don't take these things so personally. And that comes from awareness. That comes from, I had to really understand that. Everything that we are going through, great experiences or not so great experiences, understand that this is just part of the portal. And I have to thank Hank for something that Hank told me over 30 years ago. Hank, when I had my son, Hank is my son's godfather as well. Now, Hank used to tell me this. At that time, Hank, remember when I used to worry and fuss about certain things? Hank used to say to me, Najami, stop thinking like a mortal. Stop thinking like a mortal. At the time, I didn't understand that because I know Hank now for over 30 years. And until I was able to really embrace that and understand that, it means that we are much more than a human being and a human doing. We are, of course, spiritual beings having a human experience. And if you fully embrace that thought process, your awareness expands. You understand that anything that happens to you, anything that anyone says is not about you, is really about them. And we have made these karmic contracts with these souls to come into our lives to teach us something. So if you see everyone as your teacher, your child, your family members, even your enemy, even your rapist as your teacher, and you let go and you forgive yourself and you forgive them, it brings not only more awareness of the attraction of your cosmic energy, but it heals your organs as well. What say you, Hank?
I want to share. You're welcome, Najami. I want to share. There's the latest research, and I'm going to start with the research, and then I'm going to bring it to the womb. Science and technology of a woman knowing how to navigate with the crystal ball of her womb. The latest scientific research shows that every man that a woman has been with, whether he released his sperm in her vagina or she swallowed his sperm in her mouth, his sperm signature stays with the woman. And the scientists believe that the more sperm that has collected on the woman, the more she becomes batshit crazy because of all these different spirits fighting like a bar scene on a Saturday night full moon. However, they didn't speak of the remedy. The remedy for this, in the time of your menses, women, you can program your crystal ball of your womb to release all the male spirits, whether they were ex-lovers, ex-booty calls, ex-rape experiences, you can have the crystal ball of your uterus extrapolate the signatures of your misdirected encounters that have affected your psyche and success along with your personal aroma. A crystal ball of your womb. Women must once again embrace a relationship with not only the crystal ball of their womb, however, they must embrace the crystal ball of their clitoris and the Stargate canal of their yoni, so they can literally change the course of mighty rivers. Imagine a staff. A man carries a staff with a crystal ball on the end as a sign of power. Women, men carry guns, which are hollow barrels that have projectiles at the directed intention. Women, you have a barrel, and on the top of the barrel, you have a crystal ball. And on the side trigger of the barrel of the yoni, you can calculate by developing a relationship with the crystal ball of your clitoris. This is not spoken of. And you ladies, you have to take the time to develop a living relationship with the crystal ball of your womb, the vaginal canal of manifestation, and the clitoral stargate. They gave you the symbolism in the movie Stargate. You remember at the top of the Stargate, what was it? They showed it an upside-down triangle. That was the symbol of the clitoris. And the clitoris, rotating the clitoris clockwise, counterclockwise, to punch in the coordinates to travel anywhere in the cosmos or manifest anything in your personal life. So you have to transcend Western thought, because the Vatican is an extension. The Roman Catholic Church is an extension of the Roman Empire. And since its inception, when the Roman Empire fell, they took all the Roman generals and they made them Catholic priests. And the most important thing during the Roman Empire to suppress the uprising of a conquered city is to rape the women, the women, and the boys. And that's why the Roman Catholic Church denounces, looks down upon the magical powers within a woman, because they want to stay in power. However, the Pope prays to the Black Madonna. The Pope prays to the Black Madonna, and in turn, she gives him dominion over the planet. So when you ladies, young and old, those with or without wombs from hysterectomies, the first thing they say, I go to the doctor. A woman goes to the doctor with a cold or a pimple on her nose. They want to say, well, you need a hysterectomy. You're not going to have any more kids. They want to take the crystal ball. They want to remove the magical yoni staff. They want to bend and twist you into a subjugated slave.
That's right.
I just want
if you look at the other movie, Lord of the Rings, Gandalf has the staff with the crystal ball, right? We need to understand the symbolisms of things. Even the Matrix, in the last Matrix that they had, where they show you a black woman, she had locks or whatever. We need to understand, women, we are powerful. And we have to embrace the power of our yoni. Our yoni is not just for having sex or making children. It is a portal of sacred energy that we can use to attract what we need, to call forth. When you are having an orgasmic experience with your mate or an orgasmic experience with yourself through masturbation, you to practice transferring the energy to call forth what you want, because we are magical beings. I have a practice of, I get up in the morning early, I say my prayers, whatever, I call on my Orishas, and I write out how I want my day to be. Writing out your day is a spell. Prayers are spells. Affirmations are spells. And you're using the words I am. I am is a powerful energy, vibration. I am going to have a great day. I am going to attract. Look, last week I wrote down I was going to attract $300 in the week. I made the $300 by Thursday. I said, let me raise the ante to $500. And I had a client who called me out of the blue. A friend of mine sent me a text that a friend wanted a massage. Now, the friend didn't keep a massage, but I made $400. The other person canceled. But the whole idea is that we women really need to become more aware of the magic that we have within. And when you start being more aware of who you are, what you are, your worth, your standards, and your values as a woman, even though if you were in abusive relationships and you become more aware, you no longer attract those abusive relationships. You attract people of your same tribe. You attract people who vibrate on your level. Even if it's a stranger you meet on the street, you attract money to you. And money comes in different ways. Money is a tool. Money is an energy. I call money a sheep. If you see a penny on the street, a quarter, a dime, a nickel, and you know that the universe has your back, money flows to you easily and effortlessly. And even though you pick up that penny on the street, you give thanks. Thank you, universe, for blessing me with money. Thank you for blessing me.